All right. Couple of questions came about today. Narcs hate they love me. Carol Warner in the group. Carol Warner on the platform. No, not Harrio's platform, but Narcs hate they love me on Harrio's platform on YouTube. I'm one of the moderators of the group. Glad that I could be with you guys and assist you guys along your way, your journey. You know, this is all about healing. This is all about growth. All right, if it's not benefiting you, you have nothing to do with it. And that's the way that we have to think. Because we are so quick to put our needs aside for other people. All right, and most of the time, those other people are called narcs. That's what we deal with. All right, so a young man posted, he said, what is a good state for me to move to? I don't want to deal with my she-narc. What's a good place for me to move to? Let's look up the etymology for state. Okay? Let's see what the etymology is. There's a spiritual aspect of it, and there's a physical aspect of it. Let's look at both aspects. Number one, first, the spiritual aspect of it. The particular condition that someone or something is at a specific time. Let me repeat it. The particular condition that someone or something is at a specific time. All right. Let's look at the way we were taught. The definition for state, the etymology for state, the way we were taught growing up. I looked at the original origin, etymology just then. Let's look at how we were taught. It says a nation or territory considered as an organized political community under one agreement. Let me repeat it. A nation, a territory, nation or territory, considered as an organized political community under one agreement. So we have here, ladies and gentlemen, just like with narcissism, with anything we come across, we have spiritual meaning, and then we have the flesh meaning. Spiritual meaning, we can't see, we cannot perceive with the two eyes that we look through every day. But the spiritual meaning, you get that gut feeling in your spirit, in your soul. You hear your conscience or your subconscious telling you something that's not so. That's what we're dealing with here. We can't look at a person and say, oh, that's a narc. We have to have some kind of dealing with them. But the beautiful part about this is when you get intertwined and in tune with your spirit, then your spirit and your gut will tell you what you're dealing with. Now, whether you choose to listen or not, that's on you. Have nothing to do with me. Have nothing to do with anybody. That's on you. Okay? So I say this to say, you can move to any state. It doesn't matter. But the Jezebel entity flows throughout males and females. You don't have to be a female per se to have a Jezebel spirit. You can be a male and have that spirit. Just like the Jezebel spirit attaches to a Arab spirit. You can have an Arab. Arab was a guy, a male, and Jezebel was a female. So you can have an Arab spirit and be a male or a female. All right, just like the Jezebel, you don't have to be necessarily female. You could be male too and have that same spirit. But we can't see spirits through the two eyes that we look through every day. That's why we have the pineal gland. And I talk about the pineal gland day in and day out on my channel because I know the importance of it. You don't have to necessarily know a person before you know a person. You don't have to necessarily meet a person before you already know what they're standing on and what they're about. People may think you're crazy, but that's just the truth. You don't have to necessarily shake hands with them and be around them in order to get to know them. You know the red flags. All right, that's the beauty about the gift of discernment. Now let me talk about the state of mind. The state of mind when you're here, and you say, I want to move to another state, like the guy post, I want to move to another state, and I just don't want narcs there. This is a spiritual awakening. What do I mean by spiritual? It's nothing that the eyes can perceive. It's nothing that the eyes can tell you to where it registers in your brain. All of this stuff is spiritual. What do you feel? What is your subconscious telling you? What are you telling yourself? How are you moving and operating? What are you doing to prevent this and that? What are you doing to stand on your boundaries? For example, I'll give you an example. And this is from one of my Facebook friends, also a good friend of mine, not just on Facebook, but just in general. A guy that I graduated with from high school, we still keep in touch. We like this. He's understanding law, right? On a different level to where he can X the judges out. Law, L-A-W, length, angle, width, land, air, water. This is where we are. So if you go to Florida, for example, and you have a gun on your waist, you may be greeted by the police at a certain point and say, look, we have no open gun laws and no open carry laws or whatever. The first thing my friend is gonna say is, you cannot put me in a state of mind called Florida. Let's go back to the definition for state. The particular condition that someone or something is at a specific time. Once you talk spiritual with the law, it X's out all of the legalese. It X's out all of the attorneys. There's nowhere in the Constitution that talks about an attorney. Let me get into attorney, attorn me. Payee, pay me. Let's get into it. It's only right we just get into it. So the police cannot put him in a state of mind called Florida. They can't do it. They can't put him on the water. This is commercial. When you're of the land and you're on the land, you know all of the land is connected. All of the water is connected. So at that point, when you know that, a judge cannot deal with you, because what is the judge really there for? The judge is there to sit in the seat and act as God. And we had no true judges in office since 1896. All of them are magistrates, and you guys can go look this up. That's fine. But how can a judge and a lawyer turn you over when you're in the flesh and the Most High is in the spirit? They don't have nothing to do with you. They can't do anything with you when you know who you are. And you stand on it. You stand on what you know. You be about what you know. And you go from there. So you can be in a state of mind of utopia. And you can have utopia over in Chicago. If you're in Chirac, murders are sky high. People are killing each other every time you look up. Everywhere you go, not even just Chicago. This is everywhere you go. You determine what state of mind that you're going to operate in. What narcs do, they determine what state of mind we operate in. That's why they want to keep us around. Listen, it's easy for somebody to manipulate. It's easy for somebody to talk slick game. That's easy. But it's hard to do the right thing. It's hard to stick with people that stand for something. That's very, very hard. So your best out, if you're going to move to another state, you can move to Europe, Africa, Asia, wherever you want to move, if you're not in a state of mind to where you're happy, then you're in hell. And I don't care where you move, the narc is going to have you wrapped around that finger. They're going to have you all hemmed up. There's nothing you can do about it. What motivates you, what makes you a better person, that depends on you. Don't look for nobody else to validate you and make you a better person. You be the best person for you and your children and your family. And ask God when you pray to God, because I ask God every morning when I go to work. I ask God for guidance. Walk with me. Keep all negative energy that's around to deter me. Knock all of that out of my way so I don't have to deal with it. But even if I do, I know you won't put more on me than what I can carry and what I can tolerate. So I can tolerate that too. If you just so happen to send it my way, I'll consider it as a test. Have nothing against you. Make sure that you understand discernment. The gift of discernment, you don't have to necessarily meet a person and say, hey, how you doing? And shake hands with them and all this and that. You already know what they're about within the first 10 minutes of meeting them. That's discernment. My best friend has a gift of discernment. Pointed out everything I needed to know about people that I thought were my friends, about guys that I thought I was so quote unquote interested in. She was already on. I'm like, how do you know this? You ain't never met him. You ain't never been around. How you? And I feel a certain kind of way. Like, you just gonna judge him? But she has the gift called discernment. She can see, not with this eye. She can hear a couple of details and see with the pineal, this eye right here. That's all we want here. Had another young lady to say, well, how did we get into this mess with these cowards, with these people we call narcs? How did we get into this? We got into it because we knew that the devil was real. We've been told that the devil was real, and he operates the same way that God operates. He's here to collect souls the same way the Most High is here to collect souls. But we didn't know how real it was. We were so distracted. We were going to work. We were looking at the game. We were trying to make everything work for the narcs that we had in our life, for peace sake. That's what we were busy doing as empaths. We were busy trying to please and be at everybody else's beck and call, and nobody was at ours. Nobody understood us. That is changing. It is changing. It is awesome. Everybody is starting to wake up now. A lot of people are waking up. We can't change them. We can only educate ourselves to tolerate them. Tolerate them. Not try to benefit them, just tolerate them, because we were benefiting them the whole time before. That's why they leech. That's why they're leeches in a way. They just suck everything dry from us, whether it's finances, whether it's emotional energy, physical energy, whatever. We were trying to keep everything on the up and up for peace sake. Okay? So your state of mind, it doesn't depend. It doesn't matter where you move. All right? It doesn't matter. No matter where you move, you need to be in a place to where you can operate. All right? Productiveness. That matters. How productive are you every day towards yourself? Put time and energy into yourself. When somebody doesn't mean you any good, you don't have to necessarily be around them and benefit them and all this kind of stuff. Put all of that back into yourself. That's all I'm stating. I'm saying you can only be in a state of mind to where you want to be. Don't look for anybody else to motivate you. You motivate self. That's when the narc hates you the most, because they know you don't need my validation. You don't need me to motivate you. Who do you think you are? Who in the hell do you think you are? You don't need me. And that's when everything hit the fan. And us as empaths, we tend to avoid confrontation. But also, what makes a super empath is that we don't have to be at somebody's beck and call. We can avoid confrontation and at the same time be putting that same energy back into us. And that's what makes them mad, upset. They don't want you nowhere around. And they don't want you to influence the people that they already have there at their every beck and call. They don't want that kind of stuff around them. Positive energy, they don't want that around them because they know they cannot keep being. They can't keep being a narc if somebody's not there validating them. They can only be a narc if you're there validating them, agreeing with them, and going on with their every move and being at their every beck and call. So don't let anybody put you in a state of mindset to where you're not happy. You know, even if I don't know what you guys got going on, but if it's negativity around you 24/7, your mind is what will help you get out of that situation. Your mind helps you get out of that situation. And your mind also helps you see the things that really matter. The people that really matter. The people that you really want to keep around you. So don't keep living for the narc. Live for yourself. I'm Narcs Hate They Love Me on YouTube. Narcs Hate They Love Me on Harrio's YouTube channel. I'm Carol, Carol, in the group. If you need me, message me. I'm here. I'm playing with these narcs. I'm a narciatrist, a narcologist. I know how they operate. Ain't nothing they can do can deter me. Not none of them I done met across the world. I done helped plenty of people across the world. And I'm not going to stop. And when you get the knowledge, you do the same thing I do and keep it going like a domino effect. All right? Your state of mind depends on you. I don't care where you move. Okay? The young lady asked, how do we get caught up with these demons? Because we didn't realize how real the devil is. And when we were presented with the devil right in front of our faces, we excused the red flags. We didn't stand on any of our boundaries. Right? But we excused the red flag. We were just trying to do whatever we could do to make somebody smile, because that's what makes us smile as empaths. But will they go that same length for you? Will they do that same thing for you in return? No. And that's why this is so heartbreaking and so crazy. The spiritual world, and then we have the world here that we're dealing with. We can't see spiritual with these eyes. We don't see it with these eyes. So this eye would call narcissism. Narcissism. This is this eye. But this eye would call that same disorder the Jezebel. And it can flow through male or physical or female entities. All right? And that goes for every disorder. Bipolar, that goes for everybody. Depression, anxiety, they have their name as far as the flesh goes, and we have our name as far as the spirit. And like I said, it's a spiritual awakening, and it's going on and on and on and flowing through all of these entities. The only thing that we have to do is be there to discern it, because it won't be a day go by to where you won't run into a narc. And you don't want to get wrapped up and get entangled like Jada the Narc, entangled with them the way that you did before. All right, so I love y'all, and I leave you with peace, love, light, and power. Please subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe to my channel. I'll be here. Narcs Hate They Love Me, NARCSHATELOVEME. I had a young man that said, look, you need to change your name. I can't, because narcs can't survive without people like me. Without empaths like me, they can't survive out here. And they hate that. But at the same time, they have to put on a front as if they love us. Love. All right, whatever benefits them. Peace, love, light, and I leave you with power. Pow. Love you.